It better be there. Like, it better be there. I've waited 2 weeks, so it better be there, because I'm not leaving this place until you guys get it. You guys have to produce it today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, today I'm feeling very great this morning. It feels so good to not have to be able to set up a ring light. This is the third time I'm making this video, so this better be good, because the first time I was looking very washed out because I didn't set my camera well, and then the second time my wig was out of place for the entire time.
What the hell we gonna do now?
Anyway, so this story goes back to 2014, 2015. In September 2014, that was when I started applying for admission to come into a Canadian school. That year was also the year that I started doing my NYSC. I'm going to digress a bit. NYSC is the Nigerian National Youth Service Corps, for those of you who don't know what it is, and it's just a federal scheme that the government created to be able to equip young graduates from colleges and universities in Nigeria with skills that they need to enter into the job market. It's mandatory, so as long as you're less than 30 years old and you have attended a Nigerian college or university, you're supposed to do that before you can get a job in Nigeria. So that's that. I started my NYSC in August 2014, and then I started applying to come into a Canadian school, actually 3 Canadian schools. So I started applying to 3 Canadian schools in September 2014, and then by January 2015, that was when I was done applying to all the schools. And when I say done, I mean I was done processing transcripts to like have my undergraduate school send my transcripts across to the Canadian schools. I was done trying to get references to fill out reference forms and submit reference letters, and I was done paying the application fees for all the schools that I applied to. After January 2015, nothing happened. Basically, it was just a standstill. It was the waiting period. And for those of you who have watched my previous video where I talked about getting admission into your dream school in Canada, I talked about the waiting period, the period between after you submitted your application and waiting to get the admission letter. That's the waiting period, and it's usually very long for Canadian schools. So my waiting period started January 2015, and February 2015, nothing from any school. March 2015, nothing. April 2015, I got a rejection letter from one of the schools that I applied to. And then May, I think I got the second rejection letter. So it was just one school left. In June 2015, the first week of June 2015, I got my admission letter of acceptance from the 3rd school, thank God. And that was when I was good to go to start applying for my Canadian study visa. So my waiting period was basically 6 months. Now that's the entire backstory. Now the main story is how I got the study visa in 5 weeks. So there are 3 important things that you need to know and you need to understand when you're applying for a Canadian study visa. The first is getting a sponsor, getting a statement of account, proof of funds, bank statement, whatever you'd like to call it. The second is filling out the application forms. Stretch that S, please, because the forms are a lot. It's a lot of paperwork and it can be so stressful, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And then the third is paying the application fees and submitting your application at the visa application center. And you can either do this online or you can do it in person. I'm kind of traditional, so I went in person. So anyway, the first one, it took me a while. It took me about 2.5, almost 3 weeks to get that bank statement from my sponsor. I don't know if you can use your own personal bank statement, I'm not sure, but you can use like anybody who can stand in as a sponsor in paper. So your parents, your aunties, your uncles, whoever. I use my mentor to get my own bank statement, and that happened in 2.5 to almost 3 weeks, which was basically the ending of June. So the second part was filling out the application forms, and all I did was I just went to the IRCC website, went to the study visa section, study permit, study visa. I downloaded all the necessary forms, including the checklist. So that checklist was very helpful to know which forms that I needed. I printed the forms and I used pencil to fill it out like a rough work because I wanted to be extremely careful with what I was doing. 2nd of July July 2015, I had finished my NYSC. I got my NYSC certificate on that day, and immediately after the passing out parade for the NYSC, I went to Lagos. And then when I got to Lagos, I was done like doing that rough work of filling out all the forms, so I decided to now transfer everything I had written online. After filling the forms, I printed them out again and I took them to the visa application center in Lagos. For some reason, I just didn't feel like submitting my application documents online. I preferred submitting them in person. When I got to, when I got to the visa application center, fam, that place was looking like, oh my god, it was so busy, it was so crowded, so many people were applying for visa to go to Canada. It was like as if the entire Nigeria wanted to leave and relocate to Canada. I was quite overwhelmed by the number of people on the queue, so I joined the queue, and it took a very long time for me to be able to get into the building because the queue extended out. The queue started from outside the gates. I finally got into the building, and there are stalls inside that building with different agents. I believe what those agents are supposed to do is they're supposed to vet all your documents. So they are supposed to check, make sure that everything is right, everything is filled, like you signed where you're supposed to sign. They're supposed to check your accompanying documents. You're supposed to check whether you have the original of what they want you to provide or whether you have the photocopy. Like, just check every make sure everything is right, and if there's anything missing, they would have to send you back. So luckily for me, there wasn't anything missing, and so that was how my processing went easy peasy. I did my biometrics, I paid for everything that I was supposed to pay for, and I submitted. So before I left that stall, I asked the agent a question. I asked him how long it took to process study visa applications from Nigeria, because on the IRCC website I saw that it took 2 months at that time, and I was kind of calculating between when I was submitting, which was the second week of July, and when I was supposed to start school, first week of September. It wasn't up to 2 months, so I was like, So he told me 3 months, and I was so downcast. I don't have 3 months to wait to get a study visa. I'm supposed to resume on the 1st of September in Canada, which means I need to be in Canada the very last week of August. When I got back home, I started firing prayers and novenas. See, I was praying hard before. I was going harder in prayer. I was like, God, okay, it's time. Desperate times call for desperate measures. God, at this point, I am desperate. I can't afford to not start school on the date that I'm supposed to start. There's nothing like African time in this foreign world. I didn't have a plan B. So the only plan, which was the plan A, was to leave Nigeria. I didn't have like a plan B of applying for a job in Nigeria. That wasn't in my head. After I had submitted at the visa application center 2 days or 3 days later, I got an email from IRCC in Ghana telling me that they had received my application. So Nigeria doesn't have a Canadian embassy. If you're applying for any visa to go to Canada, they have to send it to the processing office in Ghana, and then when they're done processing, they will stamp the visa if they are approving you for a visa, and then they will send it back to Nigeria. So I got that email from Ghana, and they didn't need me to do anything at that time. So I continued praying. I didn't hear from them again. About 3 weeks after I had submitted, I got this email from Ghana asking me to go and do my medical exam. That email came on a Wednesday, and they gave me a list of hospitals to go to in Lagos, in Abuja, and in Port Harcourt. Only those 3 states. I only had 1 week. I needed to have my medical exam results sent back to them by Wednesday the following week, otherwise my application would be cancelled. So over the weekend I went to Port Harcourt because at the time I was living very close to Port Harcourt. So I went to the hospital in Port Harcourt, and on Monday I did my medical exam. I kept asking the doctor questions. When they drew up my blood, when they took my urine sample, even when they took the x-ray, I was like, please, are you sure my medical exam results will get to Ghana by Wednesday? Like, I needed to be in Ghana like the next minute, if possible. Please, are you sure? And the doctor was like that I should calm down, that he knows that it's going to be in Ghana before Wednesday, and I didn't have anything to worry about. I never got any like notification or email telling me that they had sent my medical exam across to Ghana. I was kind of like just going with faith, with hope, with the assurance that the doctor gave me. On Thursday, I got another email which was like after the Wednesday deadline, telling me that they had received my medical exam results and there was nothing to do at that time. Exactly 1 week later, which was on a Thursday, and that Thursday was the 5th week since I had sent in my application, so it was exactly 5 weeks. I got an email from IRCC telling me, congratulations, your study visa was approved, and there was this letter that they were going to send me along with my passport and the rest of all my documents. And basically the instruction was I was to use my visa and that particular document to get my study permit at the immigration border at the airport. I was happy. I was so happy. I was so elated. Thank you, Jesus. I was quite excited to leave. Things just started happening very fast after that. So after I had got that approval email, I had to wait for my documents to come back by DHL from Ghana, and it took forever for those things to get back to me. I waited for like a few days because I was like, DHL usually doesn't take that much time. DHL will be like 3 to 5 days or something like that. 1 week passed and nothing was at my doorstep, and I remember I paid extra for courier service so that they could send my documents back to my parents' address. So I started calling them, and anytime I call, it's either I would get like this automated voice in the background talking about visa application center and things that don't even concern me, or they'll always put me on hold and I'll hear like music in the background, and that was very annoying.
Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old.
Customer service was so poor. Bruh, I just got tired of waiting. The second week of not seeing my visa documents, I was getting very worried because that happened to be the last week in August. That's the week that I'm supposed to be in Canada, because I was supposed to start school the first week of September. Basically the 1st of September was when I was supposed to start school, and because it's a foreign country, it's a new environment, I didn't want to have to come and start school late. I don't know what to expect. I was worried about starting school late, and I just got tired of always calling the visa application center and them like posting me and not helping me, not giving me any concrete information. 5 days to the dates that I was supposed to start school in September, I went to Lagos. I went to the visa application center. Of course, I had to stand in the queue again. I was so angry. I came there ready for war. I was like, when I go in, I'm not coming out without my visa. I don't care what those people are trying to tell me. I don't care how they want to post me, but like, I'm not leaving that place without my visa. If I don't have that passport, there was no way I was going to be able to leave Nigeria. When I finally got into the building, I went into the store and I was like, I was already charging. I was ranting. I was raking. I was telling them, I was like, I don't understand what is going on. For 2 weeks I have been waiting. I paid for DHL that is non-refundable. I don't understand why you guys haven't brought my documents back. I don't understand where they are, but I know I'm not leaving this place without my visa. Like, I was vibrating. I was so pissed off. I was like, your customer service is so bad. I was literally shaking, right? And the guy was just staring at me. He was smiling. And he was like, that I should calm down. I'm like, don't tell me to calm down. I need my visa. I need my passport. Don't tell me to calm down, because I'm not calming down. Like, go and get it there. Like, you guys don't understand how important this is to me. I was scared at some point. I thought maybe my documents got missing in transit.
What the hell we gonna do now?
That would have been so devastating if my documents were missing in transit. So I was like going crazy waiting. He told me that I should just calm down, that they had shipments that came in that morning, that he was going to go and check to see if they've uploaded everything, and then he was going to go and check to see if, you know, my document was there. So I gave him an email. It better be there. Like, it better be there. I've waited 2 weeks, so it better be there, because I'm not leaving this place until you guys get it. You guys have to produce it go day. So he went in, came out with an envelope, and he was smiling. He was like, madam, you need to calm down. I'm like, I can't calm down. Give me my document. This is important to me. I was like, I was in luck because my documents and the file and everything was part of what they had brought in from Ghana that morning. And then he did like the whole checking off, signing off thing to make sure that I had collected my documents. He was like, that he's done now, everything is complete, I have everything now, that I should try and smile, I should be happy. I'm like, I'm not smiling. Let me open this envelope right now and check to make sure my passport is there, check to make sure nothing is missing. He was just laughing at me. So that's exactly what I did. Visa was in my passport, everything, the documents that I needed to be able to like get my study permit at the immigration border in Canada was there, and everything was just like in place. I was like, oh, thank God. So he was like, can you smile now? I was like, yes, thank you. Immediately after I left the visa application center, I booked my flights out to Canada. Everything just happened so fast. I left Nigeria 2 days later, actually, which happened to be 3 days to the day that I was supposed to start school. This is me on the very last day that I was in Nigeria and the day that I was leaving for Canada. I landed in Canada the next day, which was 2 days to the day I was supposed to start school. So basically I only had 1 day to rest before school started. When I got to the border at the airports that I landed in, I had to pass through immigration border. I did the processing and everything, and I got my study permit and I left and I started school. So guys, that's basically how I got my study visa in 5 weeks. I haven't told this story much or often. Not many people know this story. The few who know, when I tell them that I got my study visa in 5 weeks, they're like, and that's just the honest truth. God had a hand in it. I hope that this video was helpful to you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and also comment on this video, like this video. I think I've said that before. Subscribe please, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so that you will never miss an upload coming from me. So this is where I draw the curtains. I'll see you guys in my next one. Until then, bye.